So BMG, yeah, be careful. It's safe to say that BMG is definitely the favorite of this qualifier number 5. But if we have learned anything from the recent qualifiers, it's that upsets are never far away.
Yeah. Second tier bans happening now, but as far as the picks go, already some interesting stuff as usual. The initial bans, by the way, I believe very similar, in fact, if not the same as last game. Moira, Tremble, Parasite, and Clanks. Flux, though, first picked. No surprise there by Team Mu. They've been doing that lately. Flux into Ophelia, Midas into Rhapsody, Engineer into Armadon. So we are going to see the Armadon once again. Again, the powers we saw in the last game, a very solid slow that can add up and be decent, but also just a very tanky presence. And they get these trio of heroes once again with the Ophelia, Rhapsody, and Armadon. So safe to say a very similar strat, and I wonder if Team Who is going to ban out that Arachne even as well, trying to take away that option here.
Very likely. If they're going for a melee carry once again for Certus, then they should definitely look to do so, because that kiting power is too damn strong. Rhapsody, I like that a lot more than Andromeda. It doesn't synergize with the minus armor, but during the laning phase, Rhapsody is going to be far more scarier than Andromeda could ever be. So this potentially could be an offensive trialing once again. It didn't work out the best from last game, but it was still an alright performance from them. And Armadon in the end, I mean, he ended up with 500 gold per minute. So Gwifix, who are playing it, definitely knows this hero, and I wouldn't be surprised to see yet another pseudo tri-lane.
There's the final bans, the Puppet Master and Andromeda coming out. So, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be surprised either. I mean, hell, it was Arachne. What was their fifth hero? What are we missing here?
It was the mid one was Midas.
It was Midas, and is he still there? No, he was. He's
picked by the Legion.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I was thinking the bans, but that makes sense.
I just gotta bring this up as well. Midas, I understand that he's like the 2-go mid hero right now. He's got a lot of early damage. He got that mobility, but I personally don't hold him that high, like top tier pick. I could see him as like the 3rd or the 4th, but I don't know. 1st and 2nd, I feel like he tapers off a little bit. I don't know what the win percentage is for him. I would love for Quincy to maybe he even posted it here a little bit earlier. Midas win percentage, 48%. So it's below 50. I feel like sometimes people are overrating it a little bit. A hero like Kraken, for example, it just disappeared from being a top tier pick in Season 3. Now it's extinct. Nobody's picking it anymore, and there are numbers of reasons for why. Midas, yes, is very good versus the Kraken. Deadwood was buffed in a recent patch, so he more or less gets a free kill when he hits level 6 if he's up versus 1 versus the Kraken. And Meraxus has already been buffed, or been buffed a little bit as well, and he kind of feels the same role as the Kraken. But I mean, he went from top tier pick to not being picked at all. I mean, you can still pick him at like the 4th or 5th pick. I mean, a Kraken as your last pick, I mean, that can turn the tables around completely. I just feel like people have forgotten about that hero. It's so damn powerful. And there's Arachne. Why did they not ban him like you said? I mean, they even picked the melee carry as well.
Yeah, you're right, and the slow clearly was. And I mentioned from Armadon, it's obviously good, but I really think it was Arachne was most of it, though. Between the Spider Sting and the Web Shot, it's just ridiculous how it's so tough to move as a melee hero, especially when all that's on you. So yeah, I agree with you there. And granted, Sand Wraith, a little bit different with the idea of that Desert's Curse, and with the obviously illusion, being able to port to another one if need be. They will go Empath on top of that. Okay, so they're going for that kind of synergy there of the global presence even. But yeah, I think what we've kind of found as to why maybe Team DsBn likes this Arachne carry is the idea against a melee carry. In the other side, it is powerful. So seems like that logic stands. And of course, they can't go Midas here to finish off, but.
No, they can't, but maybe something that fills the same role. I would love to see something that has a little bit of an initiation. Solid stun. Kraken. No, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be a versus a Flux in the mid lane, potentially even an Engineer Flux lane. So something that has a little bit of, not a melee here. Oh! Oh my god! I'm a god!
Well then, looks like they're gonna go with Kraken, who you just happen to be going on and on about right there. And,
6 minutes delay on the stream.
Yeah, right. It's like, wait a second, they're listening
the 5th big Kraken is coming. Oh my god, I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's hard to argue what you're saying. This is a hero that was considered God tier A-list, and yeah, I don't really think he got any changes. So it's just simply, well, started to die off for whatever reason. But no doubt, one of the better initiators. And granted, his Tsunami charge again can be a little bit funky, but it's just the overall idea of the hero between the minus armor, the slow, the obviously his ultimate presence. It's a lot that comes together. So not too surprised to see that final pick here by Team DsBn.
And it seems like they are shaping up for Armadon in the safe lane as well. Wait, who's suiciding then? Oh yeah, it's a Kraken suicide. Arachne in the mid. Alright, I like this. This has been a little bit of a trend lately, seeing as Flux and Midas has been so popular. They're putting heroes like Puppet Master and Arachne in the mid lane to go up versus them instead.
Yeah.
We saw it yesterday, I think, pretty much every single game, more or less, that Puppet Master was in the mid. Team Grief versus Team Who. So, if you're Team Who, you might be able to predict this Arachne going in the mid. But seeing as from the last game, they might even be fearing that offensive tri-lane. So they are down here with 4 people, at least 4 now. And they want to block that hard camp for Ophelia in case he were to man up. I think that's the main reason for why they're still around here.
Yeah, you see.
Empath. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Empath, of course, did very, very well in the game number 1, Jukubek, showing that he plays his hero to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
But he also had a lot of heroes to gank with during that game number 1. It was the Swiftblade, it was the Meraxus, it was the Tremble.
That's
this game,
yeah.
yes. He does very well with the Sanref, but during the early game, during the laning phase, I don't think it's going to be as easy to find those kills all around the map as it was during game number 1, so something to look out for a little bit, or at least. Kraken can charge through that wall of his as well.
Yeah, that's always. I find that to be funky always. The fact that he can go through like Mummy Wall and whatnot. So, but that is another tool of him, and why he can be good in this case, especially going up against the Empath. So, speaking of that, if you're Empath here, do you go Essence Link first?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he hasn't leveled anything yet, but look at him really keeping his distance against Kraken right here, but also putting in the auto attacks and doing a good job of keeping him in check. Kraken actually getting a mana battery right off the bat, too. That's an interesting choice there.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to provide him to use that Sonoma charge over and over at least. It's a lot of mana, it is, but I don't know. I would probably have saved up for Marchers myself.
Yeah. So you're going to exchange some auto attacks right here once again. She actually did get the wall first.
Yeah, that's not the best.
Especially
I mean,
if he charges through.
Exactly, and especially since he's trading out attacks with Kraken.
Yeah, she goes right on through. Well done, that's awkward.
Alright, I guess that explains why he went for the mana battery at least. Now he's going to have enough mana for 1 more Storm charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, making sure that he can use it again if need be, so... And after healing up right there. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that, how that continues to progress. The middle lane matchup, Flux and NG going up against Arachne. You think Pee-wee needs to be pretty careful right here against this combo. Definitely a lot of kill potential with it. Of course, NG did go Kegstun first. Wasn't blocking any camps or anything like that with the mines. But we'll see what Shortcan, well, no, being Shortcan, I'm pretty sure he is going to go the mines. He's been a pretty big advocate of it, so... Wouldn't be surprised.
In a passive game like this, where he's not going to be too much of a help in the mid lane, then yeah, I could very well see him going in for the mines in level 2 and just to run around the map and place them at random locations. It's really good. He can use it to block the Ophelia camps as well. You can toss it over cliffs now, so you could literally stand in a river and throw it up into the forest.
Yeah, that's the change to the mines again. It really brought another level to the ability, and I even on paper, and I know a lot of other people are the same way, saying that's pretty ridiculous how strong that is. Again, initially, we still saw NG's leveling up the turret and the Kegstun and kind of still sticking to the traditional build, but I think people have realized now that the mines and the changes to it are just too powerful to pass up in so many cases. So, yeah, he does get the mines right there. Top lane, Midas, going to take some damage. Has a double crushing claw, though, and inherently tanky, so don't think he's going to fall by any means, but...
Still no slow on to Armadon. Like, especially in this, why does he need that third ability?
Yeah, there's like no point, you're
Suicide
right.
Midas.
Does seem a little silly. But likes this build, and he's made it work. But yeah, no, I think it's a good argument. I think this is just he's kind of stuck in the way of doing it this way, so might as well keep doing it. But yeah, what would be the purpose of Armadillo here? Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot in this laning phase.
Not
but
too much.
he will continue to level it up for the time being. Yeah, he didn't get as slow until later on in the game, last game, so.
The difference between those two lineups is the Ophelia. They have an Ophelia on the Hellborn side, while they have an Engineer on the Legion side. And the reason for why you run 2 supports over a Forester is because you want to focus farm onto 2 of your heroes. You want to win 2 lanes. So it's very crucial that they win the mid lane and the safe lane if they want to keep up with the team DsBn when it comes to the mid game.
Yeah. Man.
And so far, you know, in the mid, it's not going that well. Flux is having a little bit of trouble. He's 240 gold per minute, and Engineer can't really support him too much.
Kraken? No, he has a charge. He's going to be fine, but jeez, one more attack. God. He's done this a couple times now as Ceratus that deserted with the Desert's Curse on him, man. It's ridiculous how much auto attack damage he's able to do with the true damage buff from that on top of it. So nearly killing Kraken right there, but he does get away with the charge. He's going to have to regen, of course. Meanwhile, middle lane, Flux is being chased back by Arachna. Is going to survive, but yeah, as you're just talking about, it seems like Flux isn't having as good of a time, especially being a 2v1. Than you would expect, but I don't know. I guess perhaps you got to give credit to Pee-wee as well and what he's been able to do here. Oh, Haystream picked up by Kraken, by the way, but it looks like he was spotted here. And yeah, it's going to get the free gank that they were hoping for. He runs into Empath. Again, by himself, though. I don't think a kill is going to be happening.
He's just doing all these kind of things. I mean, he's even letting Sandref pounce him a few times at the bottom lane. All this is to just buy as much time as possible for his team. Because, I mean, Flux rotated over there to help the Empath. Even though there wasn't any way whatsoever that the Kraken was going to get a kill, it still made him, like, communicate a little bit in Skype and, like, Flux for head over there. And he missed, like, 2 lasses during that period of time. So just these small kind of things are really paying off in the long run.
You see bottom lane again, Santa Wraith not only with the great harassment, but he is having a great time with the Greed Farm, 26-7. You look at Armadon though, even doing a little bit better, 33-13. Guifix again, that's one of those cases got to be near perfect here, honestly at this point. So Guifix, no doubt, unlike last game, is really off to a hell of a start, and I wonder if that may change up his build a little bit, or if he's still going to go the same build that we really went last game. Even more the Frostburn eventually, but I guess with the lineup not really changing too much, probably expect a similar style.
Hopefully he swaps up the order he picks the items up though. He shouldn't go for BKB in the hard carry role, I don't feel like, or when he's in safe lane.
Yeah, and this isn't as much of it. Well, I mean, there's still a lot of presence to want to get Shrunken against, I guess, but yeah, maybe not as priority this game. So what do you think he should get first then?
Gnome's Wisdom maybe?
Okay.
If they want to push with Ophelia, I could see that work.
Gnomes, I think, is actually a pretty good item on him because of the spamming the quills and whatnot, so.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Synergizes very well with the hero.
We'll see what Guifix decides here. He did go the Steam Boots last game as well, so goes that once again here. Yeah, that
I think he turned it, by the way,
go ahead.
in the forest. Yeah, you go in making like farming up to close to 300 gold per minute. That's quite well by him. No cam is blocked, of course. Oh, bottom, yeah.
Ophelia's touch to save him, but the wall comes out. Does he have enough? No, here to use this charge, but the mana battery does save the day. Man, that mana battery proves to be a very efficient choice here early on, despite not maybe the usual coming out from Kraken. Middle lane, they were trying to chase down Engineer. And level 6,
God,
Arachna,
it's so well played!
Oh, the illusion actually got the kill on a Kraken.
Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. That was so well played by Certas. Oh, top lane. No, wait.
What happened there? I didn't...
Like, you know, he dived the tower, him and Empath, just the time, like, just before. And then he was like, okay, we're not going to get the kill. So he just created some distance, poured it home immediately to get the mana needed for the ultimate. Then he poured it straight back in and just picked up the Kraken.
Yeah,
it was like
took advantage of that.
Instant decision.
Very well played then. You know, I was watching the middle lane action, so I was a little confused on what actually happened right there, but that makes sense, though. Well played indeed by Certus, and, you know, knowing how the hero works, of course, and not that hard of a concept, really, but the idea that port back to base, get that quick regen, and then port back, kind of like the silhouette style. Not as frequent, but still.
I haven't seen it being used in that kind of way, though. That was just so creative and so well played.
Yeah, again, Kraken, the mana battery has been a good saving tool for him, but in the end, gets the Bloodlust kill there from Sandwraith, and see, he actually happens to be the first Bloodlust kill on Sandwraith. And again, the synergy of Empath Sandwraith, it is something to be pretty scared of. especially earlier on in the game even. The fact that when the Mirage comes back up another 55 seconds, now granted Empath isn't level 6 yet, so I guess she would need to be level 6 first, but she is level 6, Mirage is off cooldown, you're always being scared if your team disband. Because the damage potential of that combo right there, and especially if you get something like an Energizer earlier on, it's a very, very strong combo.
Oh, top lane.
To deal with. Top lane Flux running into some trouble right here, all at the cost of getting a regen rune. He's going to use it right there. Gets taken off immediately. Tries to push back. Not much room, though. Ophelia got pushed right into a tree next to him. Trying to chase down maybe the Minotaur or the Stomp. It's not in time, however. Going to be... No, the touch comes out and saves him. They're toying with him. Meanwhile, off to the side over here, Empath does get picked off by the Spider Sting as Midas runs into Rhapsody. But Ophelia, not going to be able to chase him down. But actually, Midas kind of stuck in a rough spot right here. Does have Elemental Warp. Meanwhile, off to the side, Engineer goes down. He got caught trying to chase them a little bit. And they collapse onto him. So clearly using the angles right there to collapse to team disband.
Well played by entire team disband squad, and definitely collapsing there was the right decision. Just going from one target to another, and Tel took once again, I mean, he's just making those rotations all the time. He doesn't have marchers yet, so it's taking a little bit of extra time, but he's making them, and in the end, I mean, it's really granting them those extra kills, and just big heads up for him. He's been playing amazing in the series.
Guifix, look at him, 400 gold per minute at this top lane. Playing a short lane farming Armadon. He does have the life tube. There's the Helm of the Black Legion finished. This early on especially, I mean, he is very hard to kill with the abilities going for it at this point. So let's see if they take advantage of that here.
The main reason for why you usually don't pick these kind of heroes like Armadon and stuff, I mean, we used to see them back in the Stay Green era during Season 2. But that was like before the Thunderclaw and all that, because nowadays it's just a matter of like you can't keep up with the farm. If the enemy team has like Clanks, for example, he's going to pick up a Thunderclaw, then he's going to start flash farming, he's going to clear those stacks like instantly.
Yeah.
And Armadon doesn't really have the same kind of ability. He can't pick that up. He went for the Helm of the Black Legion. It's going to make him tanky, but doesn't necessarily provide him with any more farm potential. So you need to combine him with those kind of pushes. And Ophelia, I mean, he's level 8. He's doing a really good job. I mentioned it before on the farming, 300 plus gold per minute here in the forest, but they really haven't been looking to push too much with this hero, neither in game number 2 nor in this game.
Yeah, last game he went very noticeably the Insta Ghost Marchers right off the bat, which definitely worked out for him, but he goes more the traditional route this time around, the Ring of Sorcery. Looks like he's pulling up some gold here to possibly right-click an Astrolabe in the near future, but especially once he gets that, then the idea of grouping up and pushing wouldn't be out of the question, but perhaps waiting for something along those lines. Look at Arachna as well, kind of an interesting decision by him, passing up completing finishing boots here to instead go straight up an Energizer, and now possibly going to look to finish the boots on top of that, but yeah, wanted to prioritize the Energizer first instead, and that even goes more to the fact that, looking to maybe make some T-fight happen earlier on.
It's very efficient with Ophelia creeps, especially this early on into the game. But I don't know, I mean, this band team, I mean, they keep picking up those items that indicates they're towards early aggression, but for some reason they seem to sit back and wait for the Legion team to always be the one to make the move.
Yeah, it worked for them last game in the long run, of course. Blood Chalice just finished on Armadon right there. So he's going to be able to frequently more spam those quills of his if need be. 2,100 gold, though, saved up on Sandwraith. Again, he is doing solid here, 350 gold per minute at this bottom lane. So, Sarah, just the carry player. What do you think we're going to see on him? Because it's not going to be Energizer at this point. Straight Mock. Firebrand, or is it going to go on the Mock? Okay.
I don't know. There isn't too many portal keys to cancel on the Hellborn side. It's only going to be the Kraken, but it's just such a good item. It synergizes so well with this ultimate that I don't really see too much of another reason. If he would have gone for the Firebrand, then he would have already picked up some small part items.
Yeah. All right,
so
well.
It's probably going to be Mock. But yeah, I mean, that Energizer now, when I think about it, Arachna in the mid, I mean, what if Flux just uses his ultimate combined with the Empath? Or no, Empath is not level 6 yet. Okay, here we go.
Where is he going? There's question top lane. It looks like Armadon. He was diving a little bit too far. Kenny's so tanky, but is not going to be enough in the end. Yeah, he does go down. Ophelia by the time he got there. Could not save him. That was even with an Ophelia's touch, and I don't know if the Astrolabe actually healed him or not, but the point is he goes down, denying the tower on top of that. So good hold right there from Team Who, and Armadon maybe getting a little too comfortable with how tanky he actually is. Pushing
Way
the tower.
Too comfortable. Like he should have. I mean, he knows for a fact that Samurais ultimate is up. It was quite some time since he used this last time, and he's going for this kind of hero or early tower kill on his own without any team support whatsoever. When they have an Ophelia with an Astra and a Ring of the Sorcery level 9 in his their force just farming. I mean, communicate, guys. Please just get Ophelia over there, and there's no way the Legion team can get those kind of pickups.
Yeah.
So that's a really sloppy mistake. And Hellborn. No, never mind. There also are illusions in the mid.
Distracting them a little bit, but yeah, definitely the communication maybe not necessarily on point there, but now the team groups up, and this is where you figure this is where they're going to shine, especially with Samurai choosing to go the Mach first. He doesn't have his Mirage. Oh, the Mind Trap. Oh, that could be huge if somebody goes in there from the Hellborn team. That could be huge. Oh, Flux is going to pull them in. The discharge. He's going to pull them right into Kraken. Kraken goes down right off the bat. Beautiful combo right there. The tower will fall. But they've already lost here on the Hellborn side. However, that's not going to persuade them from fighting right here. Flux, he's going to be the target to go on, apparently. And he's going to end up dropping in the long run. The supporting cast, I mean, he kind of really split from his team right there. So as pretty as that was initially, it didn't necessarily work out the best in the long run for the Legion side there. But still, you know, they do hold ultimately. Granted, the tower was killed.
It feels like Engineer's going to farm some with the mines, clearing a tri-stack there for his own.
There you go. Yeah, more power of the mines there.
Very efficient.
In. But, yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny that we've never really seen that idea. We're so used to seeing it with the energy field synergy and whatnot, but using it on top of a mine trap like that, especially with the new mine, seems like it's actually a pretty powerful tool to take advantage of. But
yeah, I didn't really take it into consideration either. I mean, I saw the mines in the trees, but I wasn't thinking of the Flux at all.
Yeah.
I don't think the Hellborn team was either. So they got a kill on the Kraken, but at the same time, I mean, now they're not going to have the same opportunity again because the Hellborn team are definitely going to be aware.
They get Congor. Armadon gets that token of life. What do you think about that? You could argue Arachna, I would think, but they give it to Armadon here.
I think it's alright. Arachna, he didn't go for the Steam Boots, which I would have preferred over the Ghost Marchers, but as long as he's standing next to Ophelia in the background, there's really no initiation from the Legion side. It's going to be the Samarith ultimate only and the Flux pull. But as long as, I mean, Arachna is in the back, there's no way that he's going to fall from... Oh, mines, by the way, on Rhapsody!
Did they almost kill her? They did. I didn't actually catch it, but Heal comes out and is going to be fine, so not enough mines. Yeah, they're level 4 mines. That's 400 magic damage from each mine coming out. A lot of potential. Yeah, so barely does survive it, though, and obviously with Rhapsody, especially in Ophelia, they're able to heal back up pretty quickly, and they're going to keep this push going. By the way, look at Sandwraith. So he actually had a change of heart here. He ends up going a Thunderclaw and instead now a Mighty Blade, so changing up priority, maybe feeling the Mach was going to be a little bit too greedy, especially now that they're starting to push here at this time. Make sense?
This is interesting, though. I don't know. Does the Thunderclaw proc with his Marriage?
I don't think so. I would not think so. That would be ridiculously powerful.
Lightning all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, hello. No,
I would almost hope not, I would say.
But Brutalizer does.
Uh-oh. Ophelia, yeah, she can't port as effectively. Samwraith knows that. And he's going to go, but look at the lockdown on the Sandwraith. But again, it's not going to be enough. Nice wall off right there. Going toe-to-toe, but Armadon and Arachna are nearby. Kexton will kind of stop them somewhat. Armadon still wants to chase, though. Mine's coming out. The energy field put down. Armadon in the midst of it. He is going to drop pretty low right here, but he has the token, so he's still feeling pretty ballsy at the same time. And Guifix wants to keep spamming that W to see some more mine damage, but they will pick off Empath, and he will eventually fall back. So good job by Team DsBn not sending everyone to the top lane, overcommitting, and they had a way to back up Ophelia as she got caught out right there. So good restraint, and they get the kill onto Empath, and now they're going to push middle lane. Now Armadon just got sent back, so got to keep that in mind if you're the Hellborn side more so.
It comes back to the Samarith ultimate, though. As long as the Legion team don't have that one, they really don't have anything to win those teamfights with. An energy field is... Oh, never mind. I'm speaking too soon.
Yeah, I guess they do. The discharge was still up, and Flux helps to get the kill right there. Now Armadon does port back in. He is here, but obviously Ophelia dead, and actually I believe she lost all her minions. So good damage done right there. This is the mind trap, man. Is somebody going to go in there? Kraken. You try to bait it out almost. I think they might even know something's up. Oh, Rhapsody! Poor Rhapsody. She's dead. Good mind traps by Shortcan coming out right here. Tower still alive. Transmit actually hits Kraken. Kraken's going to fall. Team DsBn. They really want this middle tower early on, and it's biting them in the ass right now. It looks like that is going to be the end of it. I love this from Armadon. He's toying with him. But there's the Mirage. Port goes to the front lines, going for Arachna. Spiderling comes out, but Arachna disintegrates right there. Maybe they're having a little too much fun toying with them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this feels a little bit like they're overconfident since
Yeah.
game number 2. Seeing as they didn't have the best laning phase during game number 2 and still were able to come back and win. I mean, it almost feels like now that, or I mean, it feels like they have the attitude that now when they got a good laning phase going and a lot of farm early on, I mean, it seems like they got like an automatic win or something.
Yeah.
With a Congor kill, getting kill, or when getting an early Congor kill and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, right now, I mean, they're playing very, very sloppy and they don't have an initiation for themselves. I mean, they need a port key on Kraken for that. He went for the Ghost Marchers into the Mystic, which is the correct choice, but still they should try to play a little bit more careful.
That was a little bit of throw, no doubt, from Team DsBn right there. And they got to be, because you look at how things have progressed now after the fight ended the way it did. I mean, if those kills don't happen, Engineer doesn't have his portal key right now that he just got. If those kills don't happen, Astrolabe's not finished on Midas. I mean, they just got several next tier items that are actually pretty impactful here. Just because of the poor decisioning by DsBn to hang around a little longer than they just should have. I mean, that was pretty obvious at that point. They tried to toy with him like we talked about, to have a little bit too much fun, maybe try to get a pick off themselves, but clearly that wasn't going to work out, and it backfired. So, good job, though, at the same time, definitely by Team Who, capitalizing on it, and that Mighty Blade from Sandwraith, I assume, is going to turn in, well, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, Shrunken Head does seem very odd in this game. I don't think it really makes a lot of sense in the end, to be honest.
No.
So
Probably going to be a Brutalizer, yeah.
Brutalizer, you think? Okay.
I don't know, what else? Would you
I
like to see
guess.
Frostburn?
Yeah, no, because he would have bought that by now. You're right, though. Brutalizer really is the only thing that makes sense then. But, man, he's going to be squishy.
He's still running back now, at least. I think it's going to be the Brutalizer.
Okay.
He's got the ultimate up and running now as well, so they're going to look for a kill hub here at the top lane onto Arachna. Or never mind, they're not. Or they are.
I think they are. Just now, Rhapsody is nearby, so this could be big. If Panny gets a nice melody off.
This is going to be it's going to be a double tap.
Oh
my God!
There we go. The energy field predictability will come out though. Pushes it just far enough. Flux pulls her back, and Sandwraith goes on a Rhapsody anyways. It will be a double tap as you call it, as Nui, and the setup was perfect. Yeah, the Brutalizer squishy, but man, with the synergy of the Thunderclaw and how fast he attacks, it's pretty damn powerful. In the meantime, Empath, she's all the way over here running into Ophelia. Going to toy with her a little bit. Puts out the wall. I don't know if they're going to be able to chase her down, though. Desert's Curse, it hits right there. Yeah, you're right. She didn't use Essence Link. That is interesting. Anyways, Transmute comes out on Ophelia. He is pretty tanky herself. Armadon also the king of tankiness. And it's going to be enough to scare them off. It looks like, Sandwraith gets caught again. This will show off his squishiness right here. They're going to use everything to make sure to get the kill onto him as they do. Flux tried to save him. Unsuccessful, though, and I don't know if he's getting out of that. Yeah, the TP too greedy. Charge happens, and now Flux is going to fall. And a double tap in response for Guifik. So, it was a pretty fight for Team Who there. Fairly quick response coming out from Team DsBn.
That could have all been avoided by Essence Link by the Empath. They would have gotten the Ophelia instant. But, yeah, choosing not to use it. Maybe because he wanted to wait until he got inside of Samarath and wanted to use it for his benefit instead. But that was clearly not the right choice.
Yeah.
Alright, first burn. No, wait, yeah, it looks like it's going to be another first burn onto Armadon just as in game number 2.
Mm-hmm. He did go I think he went to Soul's Bulwark a little bit later on in game number 2, to be fair, too. So he actually got this earlier on this time around. Instead, a bit of amp that damage. But yeah, again, it goes back to the idea of a Shrunken Head really doesn't seem like it's that powerful against the Hellborn side. So I don't know if we should expect to see any Shrunken Heads, and it's rare to say that, but there's just too much physical and things that would go through a Shrunken, like the Spiderling, like the release of Kraken Stun, so it's not the most valuable pickup here. I think you could safely say Midas. I'm sure getting a portal key on him would be pretty huge. And Jim Carrey, you trying for that?
It's safe to say. Midas on a portal key is always really good. Uh, Here, I mean, once again, we got Barrier Idol now picked up on Ophelia, but I don't know, this team disband, I mean, this doesn't seem like they want to group up and push.
So what does Certus do next? Now,
Item choice?
Yeah, with the item here. He's already gone
Ooh.
kind of a funky style.
Geometers, possibly.
Okay.
Could help him. It can at
sense.
times help him get out of the realistic Kraken, if you're lucky,
Yeah.
with the illusion spawns. It also disjoins the slow and the minus armor, so... And it gives him movement speed, of course. So I could potentially see that. I mean, the BKB isn't necessarily going to help him, so there's limited amount of options here for him. I mean, he can't really go. I think it's way too early for him to go for a wing bow or something like that. I feel like he needs a little bit of build-up items. Like a Firebrand is going to secure him a little bit more of a farm potential as well.
Huh. Wait, he had 33 assists that game? In one game? Holy crap. That's a lot of assists. I mean, Sandwraith, to be fair, is definitely potential to get a lot, of course, but that's a freaking lot of assists. Anyways, yeah, you saw right there, too. He used the Mirage very defensively, just scouting over there. So, yeah, they got both Sandwraith and Flux that they can constantly use to get good vision. We talked about the last game, with the Flux in itself and what that does. So having even a couple of tools now to be able to scout them out constantly, that's got to be frustrating if you're Team DsBn here trying to work up against. But Arachna, by the way, going a Thunderclaw herself and actually just finishing it right there. So again, very similar to last game, but it really does just go against the idea of what they're going for. So I still don't get it, but he gets to hear once again.
I agree. And I mean, after the Energizer as well, at the 24-minute mark, it's alright, but I mean, they definitely know how this is working. I mean, they're comfortable with this kind of playstyle, but it feels iffy, it really does. I assume that they are waiting for Congor now, before they are trying to push again. They gotta pull Kia onto Kraken and the Barrier Idol onto Ophelia, so there's really not too much that augurs for them sitting back like this.
Yeah. Top lane push. All five are up here. So it's a matter of now Team DsBn, will they maybe try to commit their Congor, or will they try to defend? They are coming up.
It's going to be too late, though. I mean, they should have been aware of this. They had plenty of time to react to this. And just,
well, Flux pushed them right there, so yeah, they saw. Yeah, exactly. That was, Team DsBn, they had to commit to one or the other, and they were kind of in between, it seemed like. And clearly, by the time they were spotted, I mean, it was just too late. They get the tower kill, and that's just all momentum for the Legion side right there, really not losing anything in the end.
Yeah, they're wasting a lot of time. I mean, running in between those towers as well. I mean, if they could have spent those farming or taking over the enemy force, get offensive wards up, maybe get a bound die. I just hate that we don't see enough bound dies. I really feel like, picking those up into the early phase of the game. I mean, especially in this game, there's really not a pickup factor or a pick-off factor on the Legion side. It's not like there's a pebbles or anything in the game that can instantly burst you down. So picking it up on like an Ophelia or something, a bound die at this point, it wouldn't be too shabby.
Yeah. Congor. I'll stick you with that Arachna Web right there. This is going to be an easy Congor kill, though. Obviously, oh, maybe not. Sandwraith. Is he actually going in? He's just using the illusions. Okay. Just using the illusions right there. The token was picked up by Arachna, it looks like.
Now they have to push. Sandwraith ultimate is down, go for the base. There's not going to be a better opportunity than this. Just go for the racks. Straight off.
Yeah. It looks like they're in agreement here. They start immediately pushing towards middle. Frostburn being delivered to be finished on Armadon, it looks like. So again, not the biggest deal in the world, but doesn't have that just yet.
Oh, Flux and the mines.
Oh,
they got a
oh my
token
God!
onto Arachna though.
Yeah, Arachna's just too far. That's gonna be close. Yeah, there's in range. There goes the mines. Armadon takes about half life right off the bat. He's gonna be healed up though, but no, Armadon will fall. So that's gonna prevent a lot of cool damage. Of course, Flux gets pushed out of the release of Kraken right there, but the Spider Link gonna be too much. Does go down in the end. No ulti from Sandwraith though. Remember, proven to be crucial in that fight, definitely. But the 1-for-1 exchange right there, and they obviously hold as far as a push further into the base in the end. But yeah, these mine traps, man.
It turned out to be very, very effective, and it's hard to counter as well, because even if you get rewards, you're not going to see them when they're hidden in the trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a powerful strategy. It really is. This is I still can't get over the fact that this is at least the first time we're noticing. I don't know if this has been any. Again, I think it's mainly because of the newer mines, if anything. They're just a little bit more powerful individually, especially. So, how frequently you can throw them down with ease. So it just makes the whole concept a little stronger. So really, this is just being clever with the combo of it.
It sure is. I mean, there are those kind of like, that's part of the game. I mean, you read the patch notes and like usually there's something that tends to be buffed a little bit too much. Like that goes for every single game. And there's stuff that tends to be nerfed a little bit too much as well. But I mean, pick up on those small things because even though engineer mines like didn't necessarily seem like the biggest change, I mean, there's still a lot more damage than it was before. So yeah, utilizing like this, I haven't seen it before, but heads up to Team Who for actually taking this into consideration and is making the best out of it. I did not see this coming with the Flux before, or the Flux Engineer combo. This is powerful.
Build Rot used immediately as it was the discharge used by Flux. So, now does that actually spot them? I assume it does. Are we certain on
the
that?
The Samurf ultimate?
The Flux ulti. Would it spot the Build Rot?
The Flux ultimate. No, I don't think.
Does
so.
it not? That's
I don't know. It was something like that.
Because it does spot Invis, we know that obviously for a fact, but it's like Build Rot, it's a little bit different than Invis, so I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't originally spotting people, but then they swapped it up.
Okay. Bottom
because
lane.
I know it has been discussion about it.
There's going to be the jump on a Samurf right there. Empath jumps inside. Can he maybe port out with his ulti? He's going to use it. He ports out somewhere. Yeah, way over here next to Ophelia, but Ophelia was ready. She was so ready for that. Well played by Pinky Curdy, but now she is in a bad spot, to be fair, and they're going to capitalize on that. So they may lose Sandwraith, but they are going to pick off Ophelia in the long run. Make it a 1-for-1 exchange. Her minions, though, are going to survive, so that's good news. But,
yeah, look at the top lane at the same time. Aida's doing a really good job at counter pushing.
Yep. Gonna keep.
Why are they not pushing the base, though? I don't get it. They just got to pick off onto Samurf, at least make him use one of the buybacks. I guess Ophelia is down, but as a whole, I just want the Hellborn team to group up and go for this. They have a token of life. What are they really waiting for?
Token of life, pretty powerful. I guess they're just waiting for a couple more teamfight items. I don't know. By the way, Rhapsody, okay, yeah, she sells it. She was building a Astrolabe. She actually built a refreshing ornament on top of the bracers, and obviously they already have it on Ophelia, so not usually the best synergy there. Changing his mind. He actually bought a Bound Eye, but then he sold it too, so getting a little confused on what they want.
Oh, you got a Mystic instead.
Yeah, Mystic Vestment, yeah. So not going to have the Bound Eye in the end. But,
damn, I want to see Bound Eyes.
A couple of Mighty Blades. No, Arachna's just sold her, so there's a lot of buying and reselling. No, it is coming. Okay. So Arachna and Armadon both having a Mighty Blade here to what I assume is going to turn into a Shrunken Head eventually. Coming out. And
yeah, definitely.
That's, energy field alone. Yeah. That's good. And the mines. No, the mines are proven to be
true. And the minus.
Yeah, there's good reason for them. Unlike the Legion team, it definitely makes a lot of sense here on the Hellborn side. So Sandwraith, though, he's getting closer to that Geometer's Bane. Never mind. He's going Frostburn. Instead, it's a give and take kind of deal, I think. Helps the tank a little bit. Obviously, a little bit more of a preventing being kited factor with the slow, but means he won't have a good removal tool with the illusions now, with the Geometer's Bane, and a little less armor too, so.
Alright, so it seems like the Hellborn team is once again waiting for the third Congor now. It's going to be 5 minutes from now because the token of life just went, oh, wait, mid.
Now this is somewhat bait right here, so yeah, how much are they going to go for? They realize with the Sandwraith, though, he still goes in, though, on Arachna, actually. Quick jump on him, quick follow with the damage. The heals are not going to be enough. Goes down. Sandwraith, can he escape? That's a question. Energy field after the side. Flux has to discharge in 1 second, by the way. He's going to maybe try to pull them in. No, not necessary, as the fight has already kind of stopped. Engineer, in the meantime, he even pushes them back. Engineer, port in 1 second. Nice pull right there, and eventually helps him get away. Great getaway as a team right there from the Legion side.
Buyback on Arachna. Now they need to push.
Yeah. And they know Discharge and Mirage are down. So actually, and Energy Field, yeah, this is actually prime time, if any, to push for Team Disband.
Sure is. This might be the Rax. This is going to be a very, very deciding team fight. That's to say the least. Whoever wins this, if they can get one Rax, then the favors are definitely going to swing into Hellborn once again. But if Legion can hold off,
Now the pull, I pulled the minion into the mine trap right there, so the Skeleton King dies pretty quickly. I don't know if that's the most efficient use of it or whatnot, but anyways, that's what it is. Armadon dropping about half life. Good job right there, kind of toying with him a little bit. Sandwright, look at the damage on him all of a sudden. Man, oh, and he actually does fall in the end, and he doesn't have a buyback actually. So with him dead, this could be huge, more so for Team DsBn. Flux off to the side. He's just trying to live against this Kraken, kind of kiting him around. Kraken chasing him down. Tor comes out, but maybe chasing a little bit too much. And yep, they'll get the kill on a Kraken. Melee Rax, it's barely alive, and vulnerability. It is going to fall when it's all said and done, though. Empath gets a stun on an Armadon. They may. Nope, never mind. Gets ported back. Notice there.
It's so difficult to watch,
Yeah.
especially when we were focused on the Kraken and then we'll rotate back the camera into the mid. And this avatar, especially, it's like a little bit of like purple instead of the normal green, so hard to catch.
Yeah.
But they got the racks. They got the racks, and that's what they came for. And they got a kill on the Samref, so Hellborn team, they are looking good. If they can get the third Congor kill now as well, they could potentially get one more set of racks.
Yeah, again, that really worked out in the sense of no ultis for the Legion side. You clearly see the difference in the team if they do not have ultimates, especially the Discharge and the Mirage from Sandwraith, to take advantage of in those team fights. So, smart capitalizing from Team DsBn. And even with the buyback on Arachna, still very well worth it, no doubt.
Oh yeah,
decision
it's those
there.
instant decisions that just, like, that's the reason for usually why you scrim, why you practice the team. Like, those instant observations, like, okay, they used all their ultimates, go, buy back, go for it. And that's what wins your games.
Shrunken Head just finished on Armadon, so it wasn't tanky enough already, helping even a little bit more. Going to be flown out to him right there. Arachna, again, still working on hers. Obviously, the buyback set her back in that sense, but getting close, about 1,000 gold away.
We haven't talked much about Midas this game, by the way, but he is doing a fine job and actually saving up gold. He's closing in for the sheepstick. Oh wait, are they going for Armadon? What are they going for?
He's not porting anywhere. Nope. Embath was inside. I mean, Armadon was alone up here, but they chose its best to not do it. Yeah, again, they had the vision. Again, that goes back to it's just because, oh, maybe they thought somebody was nearby. No, they had the vision of everyone, but they still chose not to. Too much of a risk, and again, especially on a target that's so tanky.
Yeah, I mean, we had our eyes up here on Midas as well. I felt like something was going to happen to the Armadon because I remembered that tier 1 tower when he was, during the early game, when he was picked off by that Samurf ultimate. I felt like the same thing was about to happen again, but no, I don't know if that was poor communication from the Legion team, but yeah, now they don't have the Samurf ultimate, and once again, the Hellborn team is taking this into consideration and creating a push of their own.
Yeah. This top tower, this is the final ladder tower. Going to go down in favor of Team DsBn, so good push right there. By the way, quick update on the other series. I didn't mention this yet, but BMG and Shrek, they're tied at 1 game apiece. Shrek did win the second game in that series. The Carry Ravener did eventually come through. So I think they should actually be into game number 3 by now themselves. So, again, going to keep an eye on that. The winner of that playing the winner of this series later on today in the finals to determine who's going to be the 5th and final team from the North American European region going to DreamHack.
Oh, bottom.
Yeah, Shortcut catches Kraken here. Flux pulls it back in. Samrith is going to port. He hasn't ported just yet. Oh, no, he ported at Rhapsody, actually. Good job right there. Kraken charges away. Going to barely live. Nice slow coming out from Arachna. Spiderling on top, and they need to kill that. Oh, they're not going to kill it. He's just going to try to keep running. Man, if he killed it, he would have been so much better off, I would think. Now he's in a really tight spot. He gets the kill just before, but he does fall in the long run. Kraken jumped back in to help. Eventually goes down. Shark head onto Armadon. Spamming the quills, but good kite once again coming out from the Legion side. So, yeah, I really think he kind of panicked a little too much there. Just kill the spider sting, man. So they're trying to constantly run from it.
Goes without saying. Now, if one of them would have survived, if Kraken would have survived, for example, then they would have had a perfect opportunity to go for Congor right now. Now there are still 2 people down, but I still feel like, I don't know what's the cooldown on to Mirage. It's 30 seconds. It's going to be too close. They're not going to be able to kill Congor in that time.
Yeah. I feel like Sandwraith, I don't know what he's going to be going here. I mean, he's sitting on 2,200 gold. I feel like he needs a little bit more tanky, though.
Yeah, I voted for Geomons, or
Geometers, yeah.
Geomont, yeah, exactly, Geometers. But he actually went for the first burn instead, so interesting. I'm not sure what he's aiming for.
Yeah.
They don't have a bulwark in their team, but as you said, I mean, They want him to be a little bit tankier.
That kind of helps, to be fair, you know, being they are going up against a lot of physical, so... Yeah, it's a tough call, I think.
And I mean, his item build is just so odd that you don't really know what to expect at this point.
Yeah.
He is sitting in the base at least. I'm not sure where Empath is. I feel like Empath should be with him in the base if they're actually looking to take this Congor fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be too late for him if he's like has to run into the middle of the team fight and jump into Samurf that way.
Well, yeah, he's up here, so not much you can do about that right now, but no doubt that's what Team Who's looking for here. I wonder if he's actually going to buy an item as before he ports into this fight, or if he's going to sit on the buyback gold. Instead.
Well, he can't really, like, he can't use the buyback because he's not going to be able to get into the fight fast enough. If he would have had his ultimate up, yes, then would have been one thing. But seeing as he's already in the base, he's going to have to use his ultimate to get to the fight, and therefore, even if he buybacks, it's not going to matter. So he should buy something. Definitely should buy something.
Yeah, you look at the hell.
Frostwolf Skull, maybe?
Yeah, I could see that.
Split it into Geometers and Frostwolf Skull, that Frostburn of his.
Yeah, that kind of helps in a couple of cases, you know. Helps keep him on top of people, but also tanks him up a little bit more. Yeah, could definitely see that. I really think, though, now it's nice that they got an Abyssal Skull and Empath with that said. That's obviously a very powerful aura for them to have here. But definitely could still use that Soul's Bulwark buff for the team.
Sure could.
Because of Armadon, especially with those quills, and even Arachna herself, obviously all physical, really.
Alright, so this situation in itself is very interesting. I don't necessarily feel like Legion team wants to take a straight up team fight. They have been going for a lot of gags in before with that Samurf ultimate, and usually they like got one pick off before the fight even started. Either that or they have just been defending their towers or used flux NG mines to get, you know, those kind of pickups before the fight. In a straight 5 versus 5 fight, I don't think that they stand a chance. As long as the Hellborn team plays this slow and easy. The longer the fight goes on, I feel like the bigger your lead is going to be. So this is a tricky situation. They don't have any mines. They don't necessarily have too much. Midas is closing in on the sheepsticks, but it's not quite ready yet. So even though it might not seem like the best idea to give away a token and bananas, if you lose a fight at this point, then you're more or less out of the game.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely a very crucial fight. There's no doubting that with how even things are right now. And as you're pointing out, this is the third Congor kill and everything. So, yeah, this is a very, very, very important fight coming up. You see, you know, with this pause right here, definitely, I'm sure, some strategy talk coming out as a result of that even. So it's just now a matter of Team Who being ready. Wait and see what when they're good to go. As far as the other series, once again, got the monitor game up, BMG versus Shrek, and they are into that game number 3 now. Looks like early on, so I don't want to take too much from it just yet. But, again, keep an eye on that right there. But back to this game. Coming out of the pause. Seems like Team DsBn having a change of heart to try to maybe commit towards a Congor kill. They fall back instead. And they're going to go elsewhere.
Right. Well, this is good for good news for the Legion team. Now they got the time to farm up the sheepstick on the Midas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Still no bound eye. I don't get it. Like, they could have secured that Congor pit so easily with a bound eye, but now seeing as they don't have it, they don't feel confident enough to do it.
Oh. So Flux just using his discharge right there, getting an idea where they were, and they happen to be really going right to the Congor pit, so now they're in Congor, and I mean, they're going to damage it down pretty quickly right here, so unless Team Who, knowing that discharge down especially.
Okay, this is going to be big. They're going to go for it, though, I think. They got a haste rune on Flux as well. He's going to jump in.
Sandwraith at the top lane. There we go. There's the jump. Sandwraith, he's not porting this head. There he goes. He goes on a crack, and it looks like energy field is down. Shuriken Head's, of course, going up. Sandwraith in the background, though, trying to get kills elsewhere. Hasn't got a kill just yet. Now Spiderling's on him, and he's spread out from his team. Sandwraith is in a lot of trouble. He's just trying to simply run the whole time, and he goes down as a result. His team could not support him. He got caught in a bad spot. Team DsBn capitalized right there, and they take him out now. He buys back, but again, he does not have another Mirage to come right back in. Congor is getting low. Ulti from Flux is up in 2 seconds, to be fair. This could be close. He goes in, he pushes them away, he gets a token! What a steal from Sasuke! Samurith is running in. Sasuke is going to go down. Will they turn? This is the question. Mine going down. Here comes Samurith running in. Down goes Kraken. Protect the Melody. It's not going to matter. The Void Talisman going to be popped, though. He will be good for the time being. No mana on Midas. Down goes Flux. But now Samurith versus Armadon. Right now, Samurith is going to win that battle with the right clicks. In comes the Kexon. Kraken buys back, though. Beautiful charge. And down goes Sandray. Double tap for Guifix. So no token going to be had. That mine. Oh, good damage. But he will live. But a crazy fight. I don't even know who came out on top. I guess the Hellborn team ultimately, but
yeah, buyback used on the Samurith and he died 2 times. Definitely the Hellborn team coming over the top. That was a little bit iffy. I don't know. Samurith was on his own on the left side trying to get pickoffs, while the rest of his team was at the at the right side trying to fall back a little bit. I mean, they got what they came for at the start. I mean, Hellborn team started to fall back from the Congor, but Legion team, Samurith was too deep when they realized that, and yeah, the buyback happening. Nice steal by Sluskadir on the Flux, getting the token, but in the end, I mean, that was a big win for the Hellborn team. I would safe to say.
Sheepstick picked up by Jim Carrey, you're right there. But yeah, so they have that now at least. But again, unfortunately, they didn't have that in that fight. But no doubt, Samurith porting in. Where he ported into, I think, was the crucial part of that. He ported up on the hill right here into the trees. And again, his team was more in front of the Congor pit fighting with the energy field. So his decision to port where he did, I really think backfired. Because more sort of the good play of Team DsBn, they turned their attention to him, realizing that he was in a bad spot. And they ultimately did what they did. Now, this is interesting. Engineer jumping in. I have no clue what he expected to happen here. I guess Samurith porting in, so maybe go for a turn. Energy field goes down. Kraken, he's going to barely live. He will eventually fall. And he survived. That was a risky jump. But it does pay off in the long run, I guess.
Yeah, that was well played in that. BKB used an Armadon as well. I'm not sure about that one. He was just entering the fight and he just popped his BKB on 100% HP. So that's another charge on his BKB on top of things. But yeah, I mean, I like the coordination here between Churkan and Certus. They have done this a number of times already now. Just jumping in with an engineer and then just following it up with that Samurith ultimate is quite powerful. But because as soon as you get the energy field around your opponent, the Samurith can safely jump in and just kite him down.
Yeah. Man, this Samurith, it's just such a funky build. And again, it just, the idea of it. Now, actually, they're going to find Armadon right here. His backup's not really the closest. The Sheepstick comes out. Guifix was too far. He was way too far from his team. I don't know about that.
He was a cooldown.
And does he not have a buyback? He does. He does have a buyback. He may need to use it right here. Meanwhile, Rhapsody gets caught. Discharge pullback, going to fall right there. Arachna pops the Shark head, just simply running. Now, you look at the middle map, or the middle lane, I should say. It's being pushed in by the creep wave somewhat, but again, not the scariest just yet for Team Who.
Yeah, look at the top tower as well. It's really low since Midas has been doing a good job counter-pushing this lane.
Yeah.
This is going to be a buyback from Armadon. They have to.
Has to be, yeah. They can't just give up racks right here, no doubt. So there's the jump. Missing the charge, though. Tower goes down, but buyback. Rhapsody is not back up. That Spider Lane, they need to kill it or something. He's still just trying to outrun it. Again, that's not going to happen. He pops the Mirage, will teleport elsewhere. He goes on Arachna in the background. Arachna pops the Heart and Carapace, though. The Sting is still on Sandray. Sandray will fall in the long run. Down goes Ophelia, but Armadon, those quill spams are adding up, man. And it's showing right here. Flux is taking some good damage. Engineer trying to finish off Arachna. Arachna will go down. Flux pushing back Armadon. The Insanitary switch. What a switch right there. He does go down, but maybe helping to set up the kill hat-trick for Armadon. And that's where it will end. They clean him up. Are there any more buybacks? There's not. It's just Rhapsody. They're going to get the racks right here unless Rhapsody can somehow box him out. I don't see that happening.
Wow, they're going to get racks. What a turn of events. I can't believe the Legion team won that without the Samurith ultimate being up.
That's crazy. Well, it was up, but again, I've noticed the issue here that Samurith literally keeps on trying to just run every single time the Spider Sting's on him. You can't run from it. It dies in 3 hits. Like, just attack the damn thing. Communicate, please.
That's a good point. Oh, man. Still, though, this game, it's so damn even once again. Alright, that backfired big time. Now, Armadon, he got one more buyback, but he still needs to be careful. This Hellborn team, they're losing a lot of momentum. Look at Midas! Jim carry you. He doesn't die a single time throughout the entire game.
Wow.
He's 6-0-12.
Yeah. He's, again, formerly their carry player when Certus was MIA, but stepped in more as a suicide role. since it just came
he was
back,
actually originally a Suicide player. It was simply because when Cerdas left, they didn't have anyone to tackle that carry role. So he's back where he belongs now, or where he's comfortable, and it sure is paying off for Team Who.
Got you. Yeah, so, another 4,700 gold. Again, he already has the Sheep 6 Samurai. Where's he going? Oh, they find Ophelia. That's going to be a free kill right there. She doesn't have a buyback. She's down for another minute here, so we'll see how Team Who capitalizes. Congor, probably a couple more minutes here before he's up. That would be a fourth Congor kill.
I can't stress this enough. I hate seeing that the Hellborn team still doesn't have a Boundai. I mean, Legion team is completely controlling the map. I mean, look at the wards right now. They have vision in the enemy forest. They have vision in the mid lane. They're doing a good job pushing in the lanes. Even though the Hellborn team has a Mega Crypt or a Rax in the mid lane, it's still pushed back onto their own side. It just shows that Legion team has complete map control right now. And a Boundai, if they would have picked that up earlier into the game, that could have been like the biggest change. I mean, it could have been a game decision right there, and they still don't have it. They are afraid to even go outside their base at this point.
I really want to know what Samuth is going here with that set too. I still feel like, again, there's nothing that's really screaming like, oh, he needs this item. I just think there's so many different ones that's like not necessarily going to be the greatest ultimately, but has to make a decision, of course. It doesn't want to just keep sitting on these same items here with now nearly 4,000 gold saved up. I mean, maybe Wingbow he could be thinking about. That, I guess, wouldn't be out of the question. Granted, True Strike, no. Never mind. Not after we have an Arachna, so I kind of had to second guess myself there. Behemoth's Heart? I know you mentioned Frostal Skull, actually. Maybe just going back to that still would be the great option. But
I would have loved to see the Geometers before the Frostburn, but now when he's gone down that road, I feel like he's just split up. I would prefer Geometer's Bane over the Frostwall Skull simply because of the disjoint. But
post haste on Engie with 3,000 gold saved up. Shorecan's managed some great farm here.
Yeah, definitely. They got buffed a little bit in the recent patch as well. The post haste 300 gold cheaper now, so even taking advantage of that.
Efficient. Yeah, 3,100 gold. I mean, he's got options here. I don't know off the top of my head what he would buy, but it's more utility definitely can come out here. In the near future. They still don't have a Soul's Bulwark. I honestly think something like that still would be... Hell, you know what? Even like a Nullifier Blade, I assume that like instantly kills the Spider Sting, if I'm not mistaken.
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, so that Spider Sting has been constantly slowing down Sandwraith in these fights and causing issues. I think you could warrant a Nullifier Blade here on the Engie even, but...
I agree. Potentially, yeah. He's gonna have to... No, never mind. He got a post now, so he's got one inventory slot freed up, so to say. So, yeah, he could very likely go for that Nullfire. Either that or the Bulwark.
I also just hope, for more so the sake of the Legion team, that they do not get involved in a fight here with the gold they have saved up. 3,400 on Midas, 5,200 on Sandwraith, 3,300 on Engineer. I mean... You kind of want to spend that gold here if you're going to be picking a fight. So he's not buying anything just yet.
Hellborn team has to make a decision though. They got a Boundai now, finally. Thank God for that, because that's necessary at this point. Yeah. They can't leave their base. They have been stuck to their own side for so long now, and they just need to get the vision up. I don't care if it's the entire team going into their own forest, getting the wards up. They have to do it. They have to take the decision. They can't let Rhapsody, especially when he's up versus Samref, go alone. Just group up, get the communication going, and like either that or go for a Veiled Rot gank. Because you're not going to accomplish anything by sitting back in the base. Yeah. If you're waiting for a fourth Congor, yes, alright, I guess. But
a very, very, very passive choice.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it is, to be honest.
Yeah, it truly is. Oh,
look at the mines there. Good job using the Boundai. So that mine trap is canceled out. Those have proven to be very powerful here. Again, I'm still looking at this gold being saved up on the Legion side. There's literally over 10,000 gold combined, like 12,000 even, right now between the heroes. So, gotta buy something here in the near future. It's just a matter of what, I guess. Frostfield Plate finished on Midas. A great item, of course. Going up against Armadon and whatnot. What about?
They had some minions down here at the bottom, standing AFK on the lane and got killed by engineer, unfortunately.
No. 6,200 gold on Sandwraith now. Come on, man. Gonna give us an answer soon here. Congor is up.
I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous right now. I guess he wants to save for a buyback, but come on, at least you can buy something.
Yeah,
you got a mana
battery's kind of mana battery's not really doing a whole lot at this point. Let's be honest. At 15 minutes into the game, mana battery is not gonna give you a whole lot of utility. So yeah, he sells it right there. Gonna buy something else. Okay, it's gonna be a Frost of Skulls, so he's gonna split that up. Yeah, he does have enough for a buyback as well, of course. On top of that, so Congor's up, as we talked about. They counted around it pretty well. There is a Ward of Sight here, but not the greatest. I don't know if the Legion team is fully aware.
I mean, they saw a red dot spawn at least,
and
everyone is missing from the map, so they should realize that something is going on or that they are taking the Congor. Then it's just a matter of fact or a matter of question whether or not they want to engage.
Yeah. Well, now they definitely know the discharge used. You see at the top lane, Jim Carrey is still pushing it, but okay.
There's only one port from the Hellborn side. They're not going to be able to defend his range tracks.
So,
or maybe they are.
The conscious decision to just flat out give up that Congor kill, I don't know. That seems a little silly almost at 50 minutes into the game with Token and Bananas giving up.
I'm actually going to go ahead and say that I approve of that.
So you don't mind? Okay.
No, I don't mind actually, because they are controlling the map so well right now. They can't. I mean, the Hellborn team cannot leave your base.
Even with the token.
It goes down to that. Yeah, I mean, even if the token, the Legion team are going to spot them. They got post haste and they got the Midas, or they got a post haste on the engineer and a Midas constantly just sitting on two separate lanes and just pushing it in. So even if they were to go full out 5 people, it's not going to be successful. They're going to be forced to port back at least one player to their base to defend. Look at the bottom.
Yeah, all 5 of them up here. I mean, that really does show what you're talking about. They're just constantly sticking together in bottom lane, and she's like, you know what, I'll push this in. And he's pretty good at that. Obviously, with his 3 abilities especially, he's very powerful at doing that.
And I know that I talked about this, but still, I mean, Hellborn team, come on, you're making it way too obvious.
They don't have homecoming stones. Armada doesn't, and Arachna. They can't. They have full inventories.
I don't know. I mean, they made it so obvious as well. I mean, it's okay if you like farm the forest while one is pushing up the lane, and then you like bam, say what bam, and you go for it full-time push or full 5-man push. But at this time, I mean, there were like 3 players pushing the top lane, just making it so easy for the Legion team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's they're capitalizing big time. They are playing it smart. I'm agreeing with you more and more now. I see the light here as far as that decision to not stop Congor. It makes a lot of sense. You know, why risk getting involved in a huge fight that could have been to their disadvantage when you're going to be able to capitalize even if they have the token and the bananas on top of that. And that's exactly what they're doing here. Sheepstick just finished on Engineer. Honestly, I think you could even argue he could have gone something like a Restoration Stone. Double energy field could have been pretty powerful here. But, yeah, Sheepstick is always, of course, a great option, so can't argue with that. And speaking of that, we have seen it before, but a Restoration Stone Sandwraith, is that something you could possibly see? Or
yes.
Are we at that point even?
Maybe not quite yet, but if this game continues with another 5-10 minutes, then yeah, potentially.
Okay, so they're pushing mid, and again, they're committed because, well, no, they got post haste on Armandon, but Arachna still doesn't have a TP, and now she can be ported back with Ophelia. Rhapsody doesn't either.
This is something the Legion team will have to defend, though. I think they are not going to be able to outpush the Hellborn team.
Yeah.
This time, the Hellborn team made it a lot more efficient. Played it a lot smarter, and it's paying off. They're going to get the racks.
There we go. Energy field goes down right there. No discharge. Oh, the discharge was used. That's actually on cooldown. Anyway, Sandwraith, he ports in. Where is he? He's in the background. He's trying to chase down Kraken. Kraken gets away. But now Sandwraith, he's caught by himself. It's happened several times. He's able to get over the ledge. Barely, it looks like. Yes, he will be fine. Meanwhile, in the background, down goes Rhapsody. Arachna, the token of life, is used. Sandwraith, he's being chased down heavily. So much physical damage. The Spider Sting is out, and down he goes. He has a buyback, though. He's going to use it immediately. No ulti. There's the discharge from Flux coming out right there. Chasing down Arachna. Can't get the kill to the uphill attack. No, it's slow him down, but not enough for the kill. Ophelia goes down. Can Flux get the chase? He has a portal key in 1 second. He chooses not to use it. He could have used it right there for a kill. Instead, he goes elsewhere, and Kraken's going to be fine. Not sure about that from Flux. But meanwhile, top tower is pushing it with the creep wave, of course, and they did save their racks right there. So
wow.
buyback on Samurai. He has no more buybacks.
No, but I mean, big picture, they defended the racks, and that's mainly what they wanted. Yeah, if the Heron team can pick up the Samurai now they know for a fact that he can't buy back, so that's a big deal. But Legion team, that really worked out way better than it should have, because they jumped straight onto the Arachna, who had a token of life. That was so questionable. The Protect the Melody from Panay on the Rhapsody has kept him alive for so long. But yeah, in the end it worked out, at least because of that Samurai buyback, and they are holding the Raxes, and now they're looking for even more.
They're going once again. Samurai ports in. Obviously, Ophelia still remaining dead currently. They're pushing really deep, but a beautiful wombo combo right there. Rhapsody goes down. Arachna off to the side, trying to survive. Not going to happen. She goes down. She does not have money for a buyback. This could be it here for Team Who. Going to the finals of DreamHack Qualifier number 5. They're going to take out the racks right here, and they very likely may have broken through. GG's being called. It looks like it will be official. Well played indeed. What a game to finish it off. As Team Who, they do take the series 2-1, and they're going to the finals. So had that hiccup there in game 2. Team DsBn played it well. In the end, they forced this third game. But Team Who does come through, and again, both teams, though, that could easily have been either team's game right there. And, well, Zanu, I'm curious, what are your final thoughts overall in this game?
Close one. I think the deciding factor was that Boundai, that the fact that they didn't pick it up sooner. I think that could have definitely changed the game, gotten the Heron team a lot more momentum. But Legion team, they played it really smart. They took everything into consideration, and they executed the draft just the way it's supposed to. So big heads up for them. I mean, they have been looking really strong, and now they're going to go versus BM.